So today is Saturday, May 22nd, and I'm back at the community garden trying to lay down the rest of this landscape fabric on the paths here. Hopefully I can finish that today. I think what I'm planning on doing is, like this place, you see, is all dirt and the fabric is tore up. So I'm gonna lay it down from here to about, fingers in the way. I'll lay it down from here to about here. This landscape fabric under here was pretty good. What happened is that the mulch breaks down on top of the landscape fabric and it turns into dirt. And of course, then the weeds grow on top of that, so they grow right on top of the landscape fabric. So that's why I'm using the straw, as I've said previously, is to hopefully, seems to break down a lot slower and hopefully keep the weeds out. So here's basically what I'm doing. I'm trying to do this with one hand. So just take the landscape fabric and stick the pin in one end there. The ground is hard, it needs to rain. Come over to this end and do the same. See, the landscape fabric is much wider, so I'll come back and run it this way and then cut it to length. I'll show you what that looks like, and then what I'll do is do the rest of it and show you all that before I lay the straw down. I do kind of want to show you how well, these aren't weeds, but this is chives again, garlic chives that pop up everywhere, and I'm not going to pull them out. Maybe I can find it and give them away to somebody. Here's a little garlic that somehow I must have dropped a bulb or something and it grew in the path. But you can see how these weeds grew. These are ones that I pulled out. Will become a part of the straw mulch for the paths, because they'll just die and form a good barrier. But yeah, oh, one thing I have to do too. So when I did the beds, look at all the weeds that popped up. But I'll be able to get rid of those pretty easily because they're small. Hopefully I can get that done tomorrow. But yeah, that's kind of a pain. That's the thing why I pretty much cover up everything in this community garden, because the weeds are just crazy. It's just so many weeds in here. But let me lay down this fabric in this spot over here, and I'll show you what that looks like. So here's what I mean by that mulch breaking down to dirt. If you look here, here's the landscape fabric. Not sure if you can see it or not, but it's perfectly fine. But on top of it, all this mulch turned into dirt or soil. So what I'm going to do is take this dirt and just throw it on top of the beds where I can, where the fabric is still good, and it'll be good nutrition for the soil. So I don't know if that's good. So that might be a little extra work than laying it down, but actually I think it'll probably, thinking about it, probably be a bit less work. And then after I get the soil off there, I'll go ahead and lay the straw on top of it. And here's my little area that I just did. So places where I can't salvage landscape fabric, I'll be laying it down, and it'll look just like this. And I'll show you that when I'm done. Okay, so I cleared the dirt. There's quite a bit actually. There's a lot of worms in it. Put the worms in the bed. I'm going to put some water on the beds just in case they can't dig down, because soil is very dry. They say we're in a drought already. I believe it. But got it all cleared. It's looking pretty good. Tighten it up a bit. I still have to do this area along the fence line. And then this area along the fence line. But I'll do that tomorrow. It's getting late. Hopefully that doesn't take too long. Once I get that done, then I'm going to rake out these beds again. All this soil, compost or whatever you want to call it, I threw on top of the beds. I gotta rake it out and get those weeds out of here. But I'll do that tomorrow. And when I do that, well, actually I have to go buy more hay. I'm low. I'm not going to be able to cover all the stuff, so I got to buy that. I'm going to cover what I can right now with the hay, and then I'll go buy some tomorrow, cover that, cover these beds and rake them out, and then I'll show you that tomorrow. Okay, so I got the landscape fabric down, say along the trails or paths, but I also put the landscape fabric over this in-ground bed here, so you can see landscape fabric, and wherever I could reuse the landscape fabric that was underneath, I did. It's all done. Here, I'm just going to leave these boards here, and I'm going to these boards here and just throw the straw over it. So next what I need to do is kind of prep these beds a little bit again. All these weeds in here. I have this special tool here that I'm going to try to show you how it works. It's called a scuttle hoe, I believe. And all right, let me show you how this tool works on these this bed here, on these weeds. Just come right out of the ground. So as you can see, it works really well. So I'll finish up these beds, get the rest of these weeds turned over, pick out the ones that I can, just leave the rest in there. They're going to be covered up with landscape fabric anyway, so pretty much die. All right, see you in a bit. Okay, the beds are all de-weeded and also leveled them out. I used a rake, leveled it out, and picked out as many weeds as I could. This bed seemed to have a whole bunch in here, but I'll leave them. I'll cover them up anyway, so like I said, they ain't coming back, that's for sure. So what I'm going to do now, see how the beds are done here. I'm going to put landscape fabric over the beds now. I'll show what that looks like when I'm done. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 beds covered, but I ran out of the what do you call them, the garden staples, and I ran out of the 4-foot landscape fabric, so I'm gonna have to finish this up tomorrow. Okay, so I got all the beds covered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Of course, I couldn't cover this one because there's leeks and onions and such in there, garlic. So what I'm gonna do now is use the bale of hay there to cover as much of the trails and beds as I can, and hopefully I have enough and don't have to get more, but we shall see. Once I do that, I will show you what it looks like. Okay, so I covered all the areas besides the beds. You see it's dark out now, almost dark. I was going to cover the beds with that straw, but now I kind of figure it's better to just wait until I plant, which I'm going to be planting next few days, latest this weekend. So I'll just leave it, then I'll plant the vegetables and cover it then, and hopefully I have enough. Hopefully, we shall see. If not, I'll have to buy a small bale or something. But anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video, and have a great day.